Power Book 4 Force is turning Chicago into Tommy's grave step by step, and we need to talk about it. First things first, Tommy made a really reckless move in episode 2 by blowing up the Marquez cartel's warehouse and killing their guy watching it the first time. It looked powerful and classic Tommy in a way. But looking back after seeing the fallout, it became obvious to me that his impulsiveness was ripping CBI apart from the inside. The crew didn't need someone barking orders. They needed a leader who understood loyalty, communication, and respect. And this is where the most surprising shift happened. Gennard suddenly started looking competent. Well, at least to me. But let me know if you think otherwise. As much as people dislike him, Gennard knows how to read a room. He knows exactly what to say to make people feel seen, understood, and supported. And Diamond, who was already stretching himself thin trying to hold the organization together, naturally started leaning toward Gennard's calm exterior. When you place Tommy's impulsive behavior next to Gennard's reassuring presence, you can see why Diamond started shifting toward his brother. It wasn't about loyalty anymore. It was about survival. And that quiet shift between them created the fault line that episode 3 is designed to crack wide open. That's where the emotional gut punch hit. Diamond wants Dmac dead. Even saying it out loud feels unreal still, but it is what it is. The only thing slowing the decision down is Gennard, who, for now, wants Dmac alive. But Gennard isn't doing this out of compassion. He knows that the fastest, cleanest way to destroy Tommy and Diamond's partnership was to expose Diamond's plan at the perfect moment, and he absolutely will, the second it gave him the upper hand. In the meantime, he keeps whispering doubts into Diamond's ear, telling him Tommy was reckless and dangerous to the organization. And the sad part is, Diamond isn't believing him because he was foolish, he is believing him because he is scared. Then will come the part nobody wanted to deal with. What Dmac really meant to Tommy Dmac isn't just another crew member. He is Tommy's nephew, the closest thing to family Tommy had left since Ghost died. He is one of the only people who brought Tommy's humanity back to the surface. In earlier seasons, Tommy spiraled into violence without anyone pulling him back. Dmac softened that edge in multiple scenes. He gave Tommy someone to protect, someone who didn't fear him but genuinely needed him. So when Diamond targets Dmac, it is basically a direct emotional betrayal, and Diamond knows he couldn't openly touch Dmac without turning Tommy into his enemy. So instead, he aims for the quieter route, which is pushing Dmac into the war with the Marquez cartel and hoping he wouldn't survive the crossfire. It is very much calculated, and in Diamond's mind, the safest way to solve the problem without taking responsibility. Think about it. The war becomes the perfect cover for it. Dmac is being pushed into the fire with a role big enough to get him killed. And Tommy, caught up in everything else happening around him, won't see the setup for what it really is. Not until it is almost too late. On top of all these, I think we can acknowledge that by this point, the Flynns are basically done. Their whole dynasty had fallen apart, and nothing about their structure felt repairable. Vic had slipped into Tommy's shadow, following him around like someone desperate for direction. And because of that, Claudia is about to end up trapped under Tommy's control too. Looking at her situation, it became obvious she is running out of choices. Stacy's team cannot protect her, couldn't offer stability, and cannot give her any kind of future. Everything she once relied on is getting crumbled. Tommy, ironically, was the only one who can offer her any sort of safety. And honestly, it wouldn't be surprising if Claudia would approach him first, not the other way around. Her desperation made the path ahead pretty clear. Once she flipped, Stacy's whole case would fall apart. She already lost Vic, she was about to lose Claudia, and now her personal life is falling apart as the investigation consumed her. Stacy is pushing forward out of ambition, but at this point, that same ambition is eating her alive. Vic, on the other hand, looked like he was standing on borrowed time. I don't know about you guys, but to me, that promo moment where Tommy implied he was done with him hit harder once the season progressed. At first, it looked like Tommy might kill him on the spot, but little by little, it became obvious that Tommy might simply discard him because he wasn't useful anymore. Vic cannot be playing both sides for too long, and eventually, that catches up with anyone. Tommy might let him walk away for now, but nobody is crossing Vic gets killed later off their list.